120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our better blue pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the better blue pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
Sports Overnight America from Phoenix with Jen and Jeff Rich.
All right, everybody, welcome back. The day was March 9th. On this day in 1981, Red Sox catcher Carlton Fisk announces he will sign with the White Sox. Fisk has starred for Boston since earning Rookie of the Year honors in 1972. In a bizarre front office blunder, the envelopes containing the contracts for the 1981 season for Fisk and Fred Lynn were dated December 22nd, 1980, 2 days after the deadline imposed by the basic agreement. This gives Fisk and Lynn the right to become free agent. Lynn signs with the Angels. Fisk will play for the Sox until the end of his career in 1993. 2 Rookies of the Year, and by the way, Fred Lynn, in addition to being Rookie of the Year, was also the MVP in that same season. So happy March 9th birthdays go out to Jackie Jensen, born March 9th, 1927, Bert Campaneris, 1942, Benito Santiago, 1965, Aaron Boone, 1973, and Clint Dempsey, 1983, which would make him, 43 years old already. That doesn't even seem like it's it's possible. I've never playing a World Cup game. It's just like yesterday, which was probably actually 2010, but. Is counting. Was the Judgment Day everything that you hoped that it would be, Daniel?
Yeah, I guess so.
Not too excited, but not too underwhelmed by it. Is the final game?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
Did anyone win free agency on day one?
I don't know. I would say. The Titans had a pretty good day. The Raiders signed everybody, but I don't know if anybody won. I like what the Niners did in Evans.
Oh yeah. That's a big deal for them. I think that the Chiefs, you can't do too bad with the with the reigning Super Bowl MVP, and I think the Dolphins are the big losers of the day. I don't feel the Malik Willis for the money that they gave him. You part with good players and you don't bring enough talent back in. So let's face it, they weren't winning the AFC East this year or the Super Bowl. I guess that's out of it. We're out here based on the music that I'm hearing. So for Jen, for Daniel, I'm Jeff Rich. This has been Sports Overnight America. Now stay tuned for more sports next hour on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
I'm Mike Sempervive, the Sports Byline Broadcast Network 2-minute warning. Just when I thought I could have a break from college football, like the Godfather said, they pulled me back in. The state of the industry is such a mess that unlike other powerful billion-dollar businesses, college football has begged the United States government to interfere with them in an attempt to save themselves from themselves. Last Friday, in a made-for-the-cameras moment, the President of the United States declared that within a week, he's going to unleash an executive order that will magically fix all of the problems plaguing the industry. And after stating that the court system is one of the reasons that college sports are in chaos, he made sure to note that the executive order he comes up with would immediately be dragged into court and challenged. I'd say it's not ideal that taking the commander-in-chief's time away from the country fighting an expanding war in the Middle East is the best idea, But one thing I've discovered about our country over the past 10 years is that Americans are really good self-driving vehicles, so the more dumb distractions for the people in charge may actually be for the better. A group of highly educated, powerful men that don't have enough self-control to govern themselves, their unbelievable greed, made their way into the East Room, where they pleaded their cases as to why the United States government needs to step in and help run their business for them. All the while, there was no representation for the players who will be directly affected by whatever decision gets shaken out of the Magic 8 Ball. And the worst part about it all, I don't even have a finish for this thing. That's the worst part. I'm just generally annoyed by all of it. Mostly the heads of these conferences, the NCAA itself, and the television industry that drove much of this. And I have an outlet to complain about it. Maybe you feel the same? If not, don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it with help from fans like you. If you ever cheer for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of it. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Get together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the fine natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees, answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running, even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Roman poet Virgil, who said, "Easy descent to hell, all night long, all day, the doors of dark Hades stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell." Talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Sports Byline USA. Two for Tuesday, double shots. What's going on? I'm Rick Tittle. It's nice to have you with us on the mic, downtown San Francisco, California, the home studios of Sports Byline USA. And here for the next 3 hours. Come in, come out, stay for the whole thing, whatever you want. We're here for you. For sports talk requirements, the discourse with my fellow Americans and Earthlings at 1-800-878-PLAY. It would be cool if like, President of the world came out and went, "My fellow Earthlings." 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call, 1-800-878-7529. How's free agency going for you? Crazy day as a Raider fan, worst team in football, haven't been good for decades, but they signed 7 starters yesterday. 7 starters, and they still have 1-14, and they still have $60 million in cap space. So I like what they're doing so far, but only one thing matters, and that's actually playing the football games. We'll get into anything else that you would like. Names that are still out there, big names. Luke David Blumm, the actor, will join us at 10:40. 10 o'clock's going to be pretty packed. We'll start off that hour. Kyle Gass, once again, Cage Rage from Tenacious D, East Bay native. Jake Peavy, certainly beloved out here for his fiery persona. He's a musician as well. We'll talk about that process. We'll open the show with open lines, and then at 9:40, we always check in with our friends at salesporttalk.com. And then in the third hour, maybe we'll have J.D. Sharp come by, but mostly open lines. Big shout out to our thing on American Forces Radio Network as well. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history. It's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history and a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold and you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. Even help cover taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing and
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
Tittle Sports with Rick Tittle. Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
Thanks for that. Welcome back to the show. The legal tampering period, I always love that, began yesterday. Now, if you wonder why that's our term, it's because when free agency begins in a sport and then someone is signed 1 minute into it, you think, how are you able to agree to that? What is that giant stack of papers that's contractually done? You didn't work on this before you were allowed to, were you? No. We just had a framework. But you didn't talk to the guy or his agent, did you? Oh, no, of course not. No. So they say, all right, well, in this period, you can tamper, but you can't sign. It's very. But 8 players yesterday either became the highest paid player position, highest paid free agent at their position in terms of AAS, average annual salary. 8. The Rams, after acquiring Trent McDuffie in a trade from Kansas City, 4 years, $124 million. Commanders re-signed Laramie Tunsil, left tackle, 2 years, $60.2 million extension. The Panthers signed defensive end Jalen Phillips, 4 years, $120. The Colts, we talked about Alec Pierce, 4 years, $114 million. The Raiders, just 3 years, but Tyler Linderbaum, tree, by the way, tree, the highest paid 3 years, $81 million. JJ, by the way, Jackson Power Johnson was like, let's go. He's all excited. He doesn't have to play center now. The Chiefs gave the Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker 3 years, $40.05 million. Yeah, the Chiefs. Don't they have Pacheco? Well, they have Walker now. Good for him. He cashed in. You know, he's only the 4th Super Bowl MVP to sign with another team. The Raiders got Al Davis, Larry Brown, and Desmond Howard. The Giants gave Isaiah Likely 3 years, $40 million, the tight end. And the Giants also got the most expensive punter in Jordan Stout, 3 years, $12.3 million. So there are still a lot of guys out there that were to see what happened, what had happened. And Joey Bosa, 30 years old, but a 5-time Pro Bowler, kind of an underrated piece to the Bills defense. He's not the same guy he was, but he led the league in 5 forced fumbles. Every once in a while, I'm 6'2", I'm not a little guy, but every once in a while I'll stand on a football field, or at least I used to when the Raiders were in Oakland pregame, and I'm usually shocked at how little guys are. And then I'm also shocked at how huge guys are. Joey Bosa is an absolute animal. He's enormous. I think his nose registered for the draft. He's huge. Nashawn Wright, the Bears corner, he's a top 10 guy. Romeo Dobbs is waiting for some money, 25 years old, no Pro Bowls, no All-Pros. Jordan Love's favorite targets. Brady Smith, the right tackle, but he had a concussion and neck injury last year. Maybe that's scaring people off. I mean, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a free agent, 42 years old, 10 Pro Bowls, Hall of Famer. Juwan Jennings, the unsung hero of the Niners offense the last few years, thrown a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. His 83 receiving first downs the last 2 years, that's one more than Stephon Diggs, but the just went out and got Mike what's the guy? Why am I forgetting his name? Mike Evans. Sorry, I just had a brain boop. Mike Evans, so they probably don't need, or they don't have the money for him. Tariq Woolen, the corner, was supposed to go. He was a Pro Bowler. He's 6'4", kind of an anomaly for a NFL corner. But still out there, Rasheed Walker, the Packers left tackle. They just Gary to the Cowboys. He and Parsons, the splits. And then, because Tua signed a one-year deal with the Falcons, and I'm sure, I don't know what Penix is thinking. Right? I guess he's still hurt, so what can he do? Right. But Kyler Murray, Cardinals are going to pay him $37 million next year. But the number one guy is Trey Hendrickson. He was kind of the number one guy before this all started. 4 Pro Bowls, first team All-Pro 2 years ago. And it doesn't look like Cincinnati and Trey Hendrickson are going to be getting back together anytime soon. Remember, the Bengals are the mom and pop shop. Katie Blackburn, Mr. Brown's doing the contracts. It used to be they wouldn't pay anyone, and they gave Burrow and Chase some money. But, you know, he had 17.5 sacks in 2023. He had 17.5 sacks in 2024, led the NFL. But last season had core muscle surgery. What's that? Cut in the stomach. Yikes. He only played 7 games. He's only the 5th player to produce 17 sack seasons in consecutive years. But the elements that are so good for him is that he's great with his hands. And some people think, well, the core muscle procedure means he won't be able to use his hands anymore. What? I don't know. You can overthink it. You can underthink it. or the other. But just getting back to the Tua Tagovailoa thing, remember there's a silent N in there, like Jaron Suave, Sangapolo Tele at Cal. It's interesting that this happened almost instantaneously, and I don't blame Tua for wanting to have a job and not be out there in the ether kind of dangling around. But a 1-year, $1.3 million deal, that is the league minimum. And so you can say, wow, this is pretty great. But also, he is going to be getting $54 million from Miami, so they didn't have to give him any more than the league minimum. Why wouldn't they? Can you imagine paying $54 million to a guy to play for another team just to get him out of there? Remember he and Mike McDaniel, they came in together. They led the NFL in yards per attempt and touchdown rate. And then the next year he led the NFL in passing yards. And the next year he led the NFL in completion percentage. That's just 2 years ago. What the hell happened to McDaniel? What the hell happened to Tagovailoa? But now, Tagovailoa versus Penix, yes, at this point. But as I said, low risk for Atlanta. They're paying $1 million. Turns into that guy again. All right, let's go to a break. We will get on back on Byline.
Do you have Medicare and you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's pocket cost to you, and you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now. Get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations not published yet. We have a side track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone. There are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Now, and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
Sometimes life changes and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyer Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're handling and ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all. Get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. It's 800-950-3143.
People ask me, were you must have been the class clown? And I say, no, I wasn't. But I sat beside the class clown, and I studied him.
Rick Tittle once threw a tennis ball at a donkey.
I know, I feel bad about that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on Forces Radio Network. Coming up in the next segment, we will have Karen Lyle from salesportstalk.com. Have you heard anything from Karen? Okay. We think we're going to have Karen Lyle. Maybe it'll just be she and myself shooting the S. I want to take a closer look at some of these signings. I had somebody ask me, why would Tyler Linderbaum want to go to a crappy team like the Raiders when you're playing with Lamar Jackson, blah, blah, blah. Well, the Harbaugh era is over in Baltimore. That doesn't mean that the Jesse Minter era won't be great too, but they gave Tyler Linderbaum more money than any center has ever had. Now, I have questioned people before in my own mind. You want to sign David Lee, why he wanted to do a sign and trade the Warriors. People talk, oh, he was an all-star with the Knicks. He was an all-star because 3 other guys got hurt at the last minute. But anyway, he still was an all-star. And I thought, why would anyone agree to a sign and trade to the Golden State Warriors? And he said, I really like the Bay Area. Okay, then. Mike Hampton, you remember him? When he signed with the Rockies, he said, I love the Colorado schools. No, you don't. You're getting paid. And that's exactly what happened to Tyler Linderbaum. The highest amount of money ever in one season for a center was $18. He's going to get $27 million a year. That is an amazing bump. That's almost a 50% bump. It is a 50% bump. That's $9 million more. Damn. Correcto the clown. But he was far and above, head and shoulders, above any other offensive line available. And when you have a center like that, he's only 25 years old. I just wish it was a 5-year deal, but maybe 3 years will keep him hungry. So you'd say, why would he agree to that? Because he's going to sign another contract. Remember, the most you could ever hope for is 18, and now he's 27. Clint Kubiak, the way he's going to design his offense, he knows now that he's got the best center in football. Creed Humphrey might argue with that, but still, the best young center in football. Jalen Watson, Rams, 3 years, $51 million. The Rams were terrific last year, except one position, corner. And what do? They trade for Trent McDuffie and signed Jalen Wilson. And they extended our friend Quentin Lake, we talked about, in the season. So I wish my team would do that. What were we missing? 2 corners. Trade for McDuffie, give him an extension, and then give $51 million to Jalen Watson. The Mike Evans deal, 3 years, $60.4. He's 32 years old. I go, oh, he's 32. He's not 42 like Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he doesn't have the speed he used to have, but he has the size. He can eat man coverage alive. He's outstanding inside the 20. He wins. Health was never a factor until this year, but Brock Purdy will love having him. Devin Lloyd, Mr. Expansion with the Kitty Cats, right? He was a Jag. They didn't pick his 5th-year option, just like Linderbaum in Baltimore. He goes to the Panthers. 5 interceptions. Played well against the run. 10 quarterback hits were double his previous career high. Why would you go Carolina? They stink. Why? 3 years, $45 million. Kobe Bryant went to the Bears, 3 years for $40 million. And the Bears' breakthrough campaign really came on the back of that much improved offense. They went out and beefed up that line for the Williams. And, you think about the consistency of getting your defensive play. Kobe Bryant, who's a former slot corner who got moved to safety, who's very, very effective there. Brian Cook went to the Bengals. Brian Cook is a very dependable safety as well. I wish the Raiders had brought him. 3 years, $42.5 million. So the Bengals don't pay. And then Franklin Myers went to the Titans. Not a big name, but a great run stopper, interior defensive line. million, 3 years, 63. David Edwards went to the Saints, 4 years, 61. He hasn't missed a game in 2 years. He's been one of the best guards. The guy who's been protecting Josh Allen, he's only 28 years old. So this is a guy they're bringing in to protect Tyler Shuck. And say, why would you want to move Buffalo to go to that terrible team? Let's go to my main man, Charlie. Charlie, 7 starters, 2 number ones this year, and $60 million in cap space. We're winning on paper so far.
Yes, and that's we're going to win the Super Bowl on paper for sure. Listen, I'm not. The linebackers, Quay Walker, I was a little familiar with Green Bay. I think he was a former number 1. I think his knock was he was inconsistent, but he has a high tackling rate or a low missed tackling rate. The guy from the Eagles, I'm not that overly familiar with, except that they were both teammates in college.
By the way, that Eagle guy, if you watch his YouTube highlight reel, he looks like Jack Tatum and Jack Lambert put together. He looks amazing in a highlight reel.
I've read that they're switching to a 3-4 base, so I don't know. Maybe that's why they wanted to be more athletic.
I love the 3-4. By the way, I'll throw this in. Do you know what Quay Walker's full name is?
No.
Jaquavian Jaquez Walker.
And only you would know that. But
Jaquavian Jai apostrophe Queese. Jaquavian Jaquez Walker. That is a name.
Yes, this is what you do on Saturday night.
Absolutely.
The names. So I like the signing. The receiver Naylor, I like speedster. Maybe the only signing that sort of perplexed me a little was the kicker Matt Gay. Moving on from Carlson, it seems. Carlson struggled last year, but Carlson in his career has been a really great kicker. Matt Gay, I think he kick with the Niners for a cup of coffee last year. It was not that good. So that was so I'm assuming they may draft a kicker.
You know what? I did not hear that. They did that. Carlson is gone.
Carlson is gone.
Matt Gay ain't no good. He's no good.
I was going to say, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say Matt Gay is gay. So I take it back, but in a stinky way, in a stinky player way. I'm sorry to everyone if I offended anyone. I apologize.
I just got canceled because I chuckled instead of admonishing you. How dare you, Charlie?
But I'm sorry. But he. If you look at their stats over the last 3-4 years, Carlson was the better kicker. So I don't know why they did that, but I know he kicked in Tampa.
I guess to save money.
The Spy Tech connection and save money, but that was the only little head scratching about because so I'm assuming they may draft it. I read online there's some kicker for Hawaii that is highly touted that they use one of their 4th-round picks on. That's a way early projection. Overall they still have a ton of money. I assume they're going to sign a veteran quarterback. Everything I've read is they don't want Fernando to start from day one. How do you feel about that? I remember when Carr came, they were Bob was going to start, and then they said, "No, you're not. We're going to go with Carr." So, what's your thoughts about starting Fernando right out of the gate?
Well, the Matt Schaub thing, they literally wanted him to be the quarterback for 2 or 3 years.
I remember that.
Yeah, this time around, he just sucked in camp. This time around, they don't want. I think you got to make, as much as it sucks, you got to start Fernando day one, I think.
I would too. What are you going to do? You're going to sign Kirk Cousins and have him out there for 6-7 weeks?
Yeah, and then you're 1-5, and it's all over.
Yeah, go with your lumps. Start. You're building this. Your offensive line on one side. You're going to have Colton Miller, JPJ if he's healthy. He's a masher, and then you got Lindenbaum right in the, I don't know what they're gonna
I'm a
do
little
with the
worried
other
about
side.
the right side of the line.
Yes. So that's why I would assume maybe because they're signing all these defensive players. So I'm assuming I'm projecting the 14th pick they're going to go O-line and like you suggested, or maybe a receiver. But
Anyway,
no, so
I gotta run, y'all.
all right, buddy.
Hey,
See you later.
Thanks for the
I
call.
love Matt Gay. I love the gays. All right, I'm teasing.
It just made it worse. Charlie in New York City. I believe we have Karen Lau coming up next, so get on back.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions from individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase. Your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
I've got a question for you. Do you lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
All right, for that, welcome back to the show. It's funny, we were just talking about Chris Cross yesterday with Jason Sheff, as they used to rock out together back in the day. That, of course, he had two great hits, Sailing and Arthur's Theme. But we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about what that music means. It means we get out in our yachts, our sailing vessels, our nautical crafts for sailsportstalk.com. It is a website, not sports talk. sailsporttalk.com, and we have the woman behind the whole thing co-hosting this segment with me, Karen Lyle. Karen, are you in Blighty or are you back stateside now?
No, I am in London, actually, and we are talking right now from the In and Out Naval and Military Club, but I have been about.
You have been out and about. Please tell us about
Yes.
some of your comings and goings in and out.
Started out at the Space Con, and that was a Spacecom Expo, and it was an exposition for all of these different companies that are connected with space. And, why are we talking about space on a Salesport talk show? It is because space and oceans are connected. And actually, whenever an astronaut gets trained, they go into the ocean, into a station off of Florida, if it's for the United States or NASA, and they spend time in 60 feet underneath the water, having this experience of learning how to get ready for being in space. And so also that's where our landings happen oftentimes. We have to deal with things like debris that falls from space to the ocean. So there's our connection.
So what were you doing out there? Are you observing, or what's going on?
Well, I have been engaged in working with several people from space. Actually, I just had an opportunity to interview Tittle, who was one of the astronauts who spent 102 days up on the International Space Station. And I had hoped, actually, to be able to have that interview edited and on instead of me today, because it's a great interview. You'll get it next week, but there wasn't quite enough time. Sometimes you have to go with the moment. And so I am a space integration architect, actually, in my life, other than being a talk show host.
I'm just finding this out now. I thought you were a piano salesman.
Well, it's true that my first business was a piano rebuilding, and but I didn't do the rebuilding. I think Sales Support Talk is probably the only show where I actually have it's my voice and my talent as part of the mix.
And secretly, you work for Dr. Evil or NASA or the CIA? I didn't know all this.
Well, what it is, it's about integrating systems of systems. So that what that means is that how everything is interconnected. And you can kind of see just even how we've done the show, some of the questions that I ask and the things that we talk about. It's about how everything is really interconnected. And my application to space actually only happened recently. It was in November, but I've been doing about connecting things, public, private, and community, different organizations and so forth. Is actually something I've done for more than a couple of decades behind the scenes. It's not ever something I've really talked about much, but now that I'm doing it for space, I'm talking about it because, here we are on the show. I'm talking about it, right?
So, I'm sorry, back up a second if you could. Application to space, you've applied to live on the ISS or something?
No, this is the thing that we think. All the focus is on the astronaut, right? It would be, what the analogy would be, like you look at someone like Tom Slingsby or Rome Kirby or Ben Ainsley, who are out there on those fast, SailGP boats or America's Cup boats, racing. How many people are out on boats that are not those people? A lot, because there's so many people connected to the water, whether it's rivers or oceans or lakes or whatever it is. And the same is true with space. I mean, now because space is accessible, there are data centers, our telecommunications. I mean, I'm talking to you through a satellite right now. And when we do the broadcast, that goes through satellites, which go through space. And I think that it's so much a part of our infrastructure that we don't oftentimes think about how it relates to and connects to everything. And so what I do as a space integration architect is I basically take things that maybe are not connected yet to space, and I connect them to space.
What?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Well,
so that's why I get to talk to That's why I get to talk to astronauts, and I'm, in the process of forming a guild of space professionals in London, and and I have all these really cool friends because they're all connected to that mission.
Well, it reminds me a little bit, and forgive me because I'm kind of dumb. It reminds me a little bit of when my cousin who works in tech and he lives in Blackhawk got cash, and I said, "So what do you do?" And he said, "You know how when you turn on your computer?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "That." I go, "Oh, so like the iOS, the IO input output?" He's like, No. He goes, "You know when you turn on your phone?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "That." I go, So So like battery, and I'm like, I'm not a complete idiot. You can try to explain it to me. So you are so now I know why you are in all these secret clubs, because you have some sort of clearance level that I don't know about.
Well, if I did, I couldn't tell you, right?
Right.
But I'm just ordinary old NDAs to protect your intellectual property are usually what most of us deal with, right?
So the cover is selling pianos to Nick Nurse.
Right. No, that's not the cover. You know what connects it all is that there are just these amazingly talented people all around, and every once in a while I come in contact with someone. I can think of Darren Peck, perhaps, and Dominic and Rick Tittle, and connect to them the other things that I'm doing, maybe sales sport or whatever. And then we do this show, and it's been going for how many? 350 weeks. I don't know. It's a little while, isn't it?
I don't know. How long has it been?
Yeah, so I have to look at it. I have not looked at what number I'm at because I didn't get a chance to put that up on the website, but I'll get that out there. So speaking of which, we just won another year award from the Stationers Company for Private Client Sports Inc. and Sports Byline and Sales Sport Talk. So we were given an award from London to say that we have superior and excellent broadcast programming. How's that?
Yes, and one time we were a post office in here.
That's true. We were a post office, and that was actually kind of interesting because Nicole thought the reason I was interviewing her is because you remember the post office, and we got to be a post office for that day. Well, I was in this pub in London last year, and it was after the Stationers Company, after we received that first warrant, and we went over to the pub, because that's what you do. You go to the pub afterwards and you have a drink. And so I got a beer in my hand, a Guinness actually, and I was introduced by someone who's the marketing director. And he says, "Oh, meet my friend, my buddy. His name is Ben Glazier." And so we got to talk. He designed stamps, right? And I designed the postal cancellation. So I told him about when our radio, when our broadcast was a post office and what we did. He told me about the Stephen Hawking stamps that he designed and the stamps that are actually on the moon when that data center that fell over on its side. It has stamps in it, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And so he was the one who introduced me to Nicole. So it was all that, all those little connections between things. One thing happens after another, right?
So while you're in town, is it do you have a routine, or do you explore a lot of things or places you haven't been at?
Well, I'm always getting something new, but I haven't really had a chance to be a tourist in London. I just got absorbed in the life, so I'm more at wider events and in these historic places and kind of part of the lifestyle. So I would say, how it is. I mean, Alcatraz. I was born in San Francisco.
Right.
I really have you been to Alcatraz.
Many times.
Okay. Well, you're better than me.
I'm not better than you. No, I have a lot of friends from overseas, and so, well, first of all, when I was a kid, I loved being a tourist in San Francisco. I would ride the cable car and go to Chinatown and buy fireworks and go to Alcatraz. I really kind of took it all in until I was like 12 years old. And then when people visit me, they want to go to Alcatraz. So I've probably been there about 5 times, I guess.
Oh, well, now, the cable cars, that was a thing I did when I was a kid. And, the other thing I did was I would ride skateboards down. So on Cumberland Street in Dolores Heights at the top of the hill. And the park is across, it's down. You go down, there's a steep hill, and it goes down, and there's a road, the car road, right? What we called it when we were kids, and one of us would sit down in the park on the grass and look for no cars coming, and then on the skateboard and drive all the way down and brake in the park, right?
Wow.
Adventure starts early.
Absolutely. So, what's that? See, for me, like, I'm getting ready to. I think it was W that put us a week ahead, daylight savings. So I think for this week, you guys are actually 9 hours ahead instead of 8. And so I'm getting ready to watch Tottenham in the Champions League when they're playing at Atletico Madrid. Have you ever taken in a soccer game over there?
I have not. I've done rugby, so rugby has been the thing, and also polo and some equestrian sports and so forth. You get pulled in. There's no way you're not going to be part of the sports life here because people are so passionate about it.
Have you been to Royal Ascot?
I do have an invitation to go to Royal Ascot through a connection, so I probably will at each time. And there is for all women out there who listen to this show who wear stilettos, there is a little Ascot heel that is a little piece of plastic that has a flat platform on it that you can put on your heel when you're in Ascot walking across the grass.
Well, what's interesting about
stuck in
Ascot?
the grass.
Yeah, horse racing for people who don't know. But women, as we would say, you can rent a hat, but they'll say hire, like hire a film, hire a car.
That's right.
You hire a chapeau, and so women are judged by their flamboyant hats at Ascot if you want to buy into the pomp of it all.
Oh, I love that stuff. I actually really adore fashion and enjoy all of that quite a bit. And then, of course, tennis shoes and sailing gear and hanging off of a shroud on a boat.
All right, everybody go to sailsportstalk.com. Karen Lyle, a Tuesday night in London. I'm jealous. Have fun.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle, and we'll take a quick break and come on back. Bye.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News & World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you the little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
I hope I don't see you for a while. Getting sick of you.
Take your sick ass in the hospital.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Went to a couple of little talks at the Game Developers Conference yesterday, and there was one from Machine Games. They're doing the new Indiana Jones game, and they were talking about how they had Old Shanghai. It's based in 1937, so Old Shanghai, Vatican City, some of these other places. And this guy was explaining how he designed Old Shanghai. And so they went to Shanghai, they went to some of the old places, they took pictures of the architecture, but then they realized that the brick pattern was very unique in Shanghai, different than other parts of China, and then everything has to be worn, it can't look new. And so to paint something, but then to have the brick pattern show through, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like last year I went and there was a game and there was a Native American guy in it, and they brought in 3 different Native American language speakers, and they said, what would be the proper way to pronounce this word? How should he stand? Was there a certain way that you were greeted if you were in this tribe? And this is all for 2 reasons. You don't want to make people mad. 99% of it is just legitimacy and making a good game. And I just think about, I'm playing Wolfenstein, boom, 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 and it's just walls, green walls. And, well, that's all they could do at that time. But you just think about the expense that's paid, and then you have to remember that the video game industry makes more money than the motion picture industry every year. Just billions and billions of dollars. I thought it was funny that, Call of Duty, which is a $30 billion franchise, and people say, oh, it's overrated. I remember the guy who designed Super Meat Boy. I saw an interview with him. He goes, we don't design Call of Duty because we don't make games that suck. Yeah, because Super Meat Boy is way better and is also going to be a $30 million franchise with 22 AAA titles. Sounds good. All right, we got another 2 hours to go. Come on back on Byline.
For Peavy with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. Just when I thought I could have a break from college football, like The Godfather said, they pulled me back in. The state of the industry is such a mess that unlike other powerful billion-dollar businesses, college football has begged the United States government to interfere with them in an attempt to save themselves from themselves. Last Friday, in a made-for-the-cameras moment, the President of the United States declared that within a week, he's going to unleash an executive order that will magically fix all of the problems plaguing the industry. And after stating that the court system is one of the reasons that college sports are in chaos, he made sure to note that the executive order he comes up with would immediately be dragged into court and challenged. I'd say it's not ideal that taking the commander-in-chief's time away from the country fighting an expanding war in the Middle East is the best idea, but one thing I've discovered about our country over the past 10 years is that Americans are really good self-driving vehicles, so the more dumb distractions for the people in charge may actually be for the better. A group of highly educated, powerful men that don't have enough self-control to govern themselves due to their unbelievable greed made their way into the East Room, where they pleaded their cases as to why the United States government needs to step in and help run their business for them. All the while, there was no representation for the players who will be directly affected by whatever decision gets shaken out of the Magic 8 Ball. And the worst part about it all, I don't even have a finish for this thing. That's the worst part. I'm just generally annoyed by all of it. Mostly the heads of these conferences, the NCAA itself, and the television industry that drove much of this. And I have an outlet to complain about it. Maybe you feel the same? If not, don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-Minute Warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
Hi,
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it in a pan, and then he eats.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Hey, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Remember yesterday talking about those Iranian female soccer players who decided to seek asylum in Australia, and after playing there and some protests going on, they were a little bit scared to go home. They didn't want to go home, and President Trump said to the Australian PM, if you don't take them, we will. Well, the Home Affairs Minister announced today that in Australia that we don't have a minister, that they have granted the 5 Iranian women asylum for Australia. And so I wish them luck, and I wish their family members luck as well, because there could be some retributions. Unfortunately, there could be some retributions to, who they left back. Now, there were women on the team who had kids back home. I don't know. It doesn't say the names. It's probably good that they don't. And I can just imagine how unthinkable that would be to leave your kids back at home as well. And you'd say, well, Australia, there's much more freedoms there. Yeah, but your property, your belongings, anybody you care about, everyone you know, you're probably never going to see again. That's rough. It really is. But that's what they wanted, and I'm glad they're not being deported or sent back where they were going to face retributions, mildly harsh to much worse, I would imagine. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY. It's not political. It's just a thing. They wanted asylum and granted it. I think that's great. 1-800-878-7529. Get in, get heard. We have Kyle Gass coming up, Jake Peavy, Luke, David Blumm. Big hour. Come on back.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I am an American. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope, faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy. Team up with them today.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Draws the crowd and plays so loud, baby, it's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the show? You know, baby, it's the guitar man. He can make you love, he can make you cry. He will bring you down, then he'll get you high.
Something keeps him going miles and miles a day to find another place to play. Sorry, I'm doing my little bread there. That's right, the cover of Guitar Man, the great David Gates song back in the day, redone, improved, you might say, by our guest. Once again, it's great to have him on, fellow East Bay native, Kyle Gass. His new album from Kyle Gass Band, live in Palmdale. Talked about that last time, but that is available now on limited edition baby blue vinyl. Kyle, welcome to the show. I know you got together with Steve Lukather from Toto, and this song will be coming out on the 25th, Guitar Man. And if you're our age, of course, Bread was so huge in the 70s. Was that kind of the impetus behind doing this?
I'm kind of stuck in a time warp. I don't know. It's hard for me to get out of the 60s and 70s. It might be a problem. The 90s, I think, had some good songs, but it's, I don't know. It always spoke to me. And then, Steve Lukather was a buddy, or still is, and said he would do some soloing on it. I said, well, I want that. You come in and do that. Because you're great.
That kind of reminds me, I was talking to a guy who goes on the road with Ted Nugent and sings a lot of the songs. And I said, do you sing Wang Dang Sweet Poontang? And he said, no, Ted insists on singing that one.
Wow. I bet he's got some stories.
Yeah, no, I know. Because when we were growing up, that was what we listened to. We had 45s.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm there with you. I'm there with you, aging myself. 45s and cassette tapes. Oh, yeah. That was the best. They don't make them like that anymore, Rick.
Not when we were hanging out at the Lollipop Fountain on Ignacio Valley.
Uh-oh. Now you're taking me back.
Now we're going back.
I remember that we had a teen disco back then. I'm sure it was probably illegal at the time.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember going to like Telegraph in Berkeley, go to Silver Ball Arcade?
I don't remember that one, but I do remember Telegraph.
Mm-hmm. Top Dog, Blondies.
Yeah. Was that what happened in there? Was it they were playing pinball?
Yeah. So Silver Ball was kind of like, it was on Durant. You went upstairs and it was a million arcade machines, and my older brother he was your age, and I was a couple years younger, and I just thought it was so cool that I got to go one time.
Yeah, that's like some kind of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Now, the thing also I think is what people should know about you is that you're a talented musician, obviously, but you took to acting I mean, I know you studied acting in college and stuff, but I mean, you've been in 100 movies. I mean, do you ever sort of look back and think, oh yeah, I forgot I was in Jacob's Ladder. That wasn't very funny.
Yeah, well, that was kind of for the music was actually kind of the backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would, just do the acting, but it's a hard way to make an easy living, as they say. And but yeah, I did sort of the cumulative. I probably have like 17 minutes total screen time in my 25 years. But I ended up really in some like the Elf.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be in an annual, just like every year, like Wizard of Oz or something. You just come back up, and there I am every Christmas, cashing the checks, stuck in time.
So I'm sure most people see you and they go, "Hey, Rage Cage," but every once in a while, do somebody go, "Hey, aren't you Zaftig the eunuch?"
Yeah, never. Actually, I get a little. Do you see Wild Hogs?
One time, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was the karaoke guy at the fair.
Oh.
Kind of a little memorable cameo.
Right.
Well, yeah, they get me from that, but I think because of my acting is so deep, and I'm so lost in the character, they don't recognize me. Or I wasn't on screen long enough. Right, I could have been.
That's true. And then, but to get into the canon of Seinfeld, I mean, no one can take that away, right?
No, that was, I haven't really done much TV, but the two gigs were like Seinfeld and Friends. I just went right to the iconic shows.
The one with the mugging.
Yes, the mugging.
All right. So the tour this spring, John Kineski with Mount Air, backup band. Yeah, tell us about the tour, please.
Well, the tour is, I kind of have a relationship with Columbus, Ohio, for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a couple of guys from my band are from there originally, so visited there. And so we have lots of musical comrades out there. And just kind of put it together. I went on tour with the Mount Air guys, I think it was last year. And we had a great time, and I thought, well, I'll just add my virtuoso guitar player, John Kineski, and then we're going to have even more fun and rock out the Midwest. Toledo, I mean, we got some great cities. Milwaukee, St. Louis. I mean, this is the heartland.
How do you find? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you a sports show?
It's a sports show, but we do a lot of comedians and actors and such.
I like that.
Yeah, thanks. It's a little bit of a variety, so we can't just break down a cover 2 blitz, all day long. Right?
Yeah. Can you really cover the Warriors? All that.
Yeah. No, I'm a lifelong Warrior fan, as yourself, and we had some dark decades there, and it looks like the window's about to close, but we had a pretty good run here for about 10 years.
Yeah. I wish. Well, if we could have kept buckets and Steph stayed on, I think we could have. I like the young guys though.
Yeah.
Some players.
I don't like the. I don't like the white guy.
Pajinski?
Yeah, I don't like Pods.
With hair?
Yeah, he'll dribble into trouble and throw the ball away. I can do that.
That sounds like the Laker, Austin.
So who was this? Who was the stallion at Las Lomas athlete when you were there?
Oh my God.
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't think we had one. We were pretty. It was a sad time for Las Lomas sports.
Did you play any sports when you were there?
I did. I played on the soccer team.
Okay.
And then I found out you could get free golf if I joined the golf team.
Oh wow!
And I was well, that's it for me.
Where were you, over at Boundary Oaks or Heather Farms or something?
Yeah. Boundary Oaks. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. It's like, wow, this is a sport. Okay, I'm in. And I wasn't as good. I mean, we had some crazy country club kids, and they were all really good. And I was battling for the 6th spot.
You know what?
And,
I was looking at some notable alumni from Las Lomas, and of course, Marky Post. We all remember her. She was cute and funny, and of course, Catherine Ross. You know,
I know.
But how come you ain't on? You ain't on the list?
The what? That's crap. I never would look up my own name, Rick, except I have.
You know, it's funny. I went to Salesian High in Richmond, and somebody said, "Can I add you to notable alumni?" And I went, "Yeah, go ahead." And I looked, and I thought, "Oh yeah, there I am." Then somebody told me, "Yeah, I looked, and you're gone." And I was like, "Really?" And I checked back. Somebody erased me. Like, he's not notable.
Oh my gosh!
I know, radio guy.
Radio. We don't even know what he looks like. For God's sake.
All right, everybody, check out KyleGassBand.com. Guitar Man, the bread cover we played live in Palmdale, out now. Baby Blue vinyl edition, digital download. Kyle, always great having you on, my man.
Yeah, thanks, friend.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We will take a quick break and come on back with Jake Peavy.
He's just got to find another place to play.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now, and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy, and our better blue pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our better blue pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the better blue pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
I honestly just got the chills as you described it again for me.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated out of San Francisco and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome to the show Jake Peavy, one of the best major league pitchers of his generation, multiple All-Stars. He's got a couple of rings. He's got a Cy, a Triple Crown. He's in the Padres Hall of Fame. Of course, he also played for the White Sox and got those championships with Boston and then right here with the Giants. But we're here to talk about his musical prowess because he and Flan, that's right, the old third base coach, Bochy's guy, has been on the show before. He's a musician. He and Tim Flannery will be part of the Cookout concert series from Casey Turner featuring the Lunatic Fringe. This will be over at Hop Monk in Nevada, which is a great venue, Sunday, August 30th. So we got plenty of time to get this on our calendar. Jake, welcome to the show, and I'll just start off because I know you were a big part of Team USA. When you're watching the World Baseball Classic, does that just get your competitive juices flowing again?
It absolutely does. Good morning, Rick. I appreciate you having me on. I just left spring training and flew back east to cover this World Baseball Classic through my job here with MLB Network. And yes, a lot of people don't know, but I got to start the first ever game of the World Baseball Classic, exact matchup that was last night in Bank One Ballpark in Arizona. I pitched against Team Mexico, Adrian Gonzalez, Benji Gill, that manager, and a lot of great Mexican players. We're on that team, and it was I was very young and on a team with Ken Griffey Jr. and Roger Clemens and just Derek Jeter was my shortstop. It was very surreal moment for me. Then got to do it again in 2009 and started a game in Canada at the Rogers Center with 55,000 in it that truly were highlights of my career. The two World Baseball Classic teams and getting to spend 3 weeks. You see what the news is around it. Tarek Skubal got in, and he's like, I can't leave this. This is impossible to leave. That's exactly the feeling. And over a 15-year career, you mentioned so many accolades and super sweet. Winning the championships, nothing could top that. Playing in that World Baseball Classic, we never won either year that I was there, so I don't know what winning felt like. But just the experience with the people, playing for your country. Everybody plays the game the right way. We put our egos aside and we play for the name on our front, not the back. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen every day in most baseball we watch.
Well, it's funny because, I'm a big fan of soccer and hockey, and I love international tournaments, and I was so excited for the first one. And there were some guys that are like, and like Mike Trout was in the crowd watching, and it was Buck Martinez and then Davey Johnson, and it was almost like everybody gets into these routines in spring, and I do get it. And I know a lot of it is physical as you ramp up. Some of it is mental. And like I know Buster's concerned about Logan Webb, and you mentioned Skubal. He's going to get one appearance, and then that's it. They got to shut him down, and I understand that. And this is, 11 days, very compact. But in my mind, as a non-professional athlete, it's baseball players playing baseball. It's not like you're asking you guys to do something weird. So I always appreciate the people like you who actually showed up and put on the flag.
Well, it was certainly when it got started. I don't think anybody understood that it could be what it is today. In those games, I will tell you this: Bank One Ballpark felt there was a pro-Mexican crowd in that building that day, and it was raucous. In Team Canada, that place couldn't have fit another person in it. And even in 2009, there were moments that were huge. The Asian community out in L.A., in California, were showing up to support Team Japan, who was showing that they could play with anybody. The players just aren't ready to play. If you could play this thing midsummer or possibly at the end of the season, Major League Baseball used to take a world tour to Japan every other year, every even year. Now, I've got to go on this in 2004. And it was right when the World Series ended. And so what players did as they finished the season, if you finished the season in a bill of health, you just stayed ready and played catch and kept your body in that shape throughout the World Series. And then right when the World Series ended, you had a couple workout days and flew over there. We were ready to play in that scenario. So I think in the middle of the season, how they're talking about possibly the Olympic stuff happening, but I'm not sure. Spring training, these guys are just not built up and have the endurance, have the baseball grease under their belt that you do once you start playing in a season. I think Team Japan and maybe Cuba, a couple of these teams have been together for months doing it already. I can tell you this, the majority of our players, the Dominican players, the American players, and a lot of these guys coming off major league rosters are simply not at their best. They can't be.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, I always loved pitchers who had a lot of, and you're not yelling at your teammates, you're almost like yelling at yourself. And like Grant Belfort, Jonathan Papelbon used so much emotion and fire on the mound. Now, are you going to bring that to Hop Monk on Sunday, August 30th, or are you a different guy when you're playing guitar?
No, I'm a big hippie, and people take me for a redneck, and there's some redneck in there. I can't run from where I'm from, but most of my adult life, from 20 years old, I'm in Southern California, and then I went out my last three being with Flan and Boch in San Francisco. I can't tell you what just life-changing moments happened there on and off the field. And Flannery, who I'm playing with, he's my mentor, my older brother, my father-like figure at times, and just best friend who gave me the gift of music. So, he's a big hippie, So I'm very easy going off the field. That was just my job, and it was competition, and I was undersized to be there, and just kind of was an underdog the whole way through. And so I love to compete. And when you got out there, it was about our livelihood. I was getting paid on it as you were against me, and I was trying to beat you, Rick, with everything I had within me, and a lot of times just trying to will myself for that to happen out there.
Well, just one more thing. I remember when you came to the Giants, you're like, well, I'm number 44. And they're like, yeah, that's Stretch. It's retired. And you're like, okay, well, let's just go 43. And after a few starts, you're like, screw 43. 22. And then you started winning. I love that aspect of it.
Oh, man, when I tell you life-changing moments, I wore 44 my whole career because I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and there's two incredible 44s, Stretch and Henry Aaron, maybe the greatest to but anyway, just two incredibly inspiring figures, and now I wear 44 proudly. I don't publicly say this because I would never try to live up to what those guys did, but I certainly, it was in my soul. And you get traded to San Francisco. I'd wore 22 my whole upbringing and all through the minor leagues. Never had wore another number through high school, little league, because it was my father's number. And so when I got traded to San Francisco and quickly understood that I wasn't going to wear 44 and that I was, for the first time in my life, going to meet Willie McCovey, still living at the time, and close with Willie Mays, and I'm I'm getting chills sitting here in the parking lot telling you this story. But now I ask for number 22. They and they say Dan, or excuse me. I didn't really care and just said, you can give me the closest to 44. And that's how I ended up at 43. When I got to the team, Dan Ugla was on the team, and he was wearing 22. I couldn't believe 22 was available because of Will Clark, right? But then I realized it's a Hall of Fame thing. And so now Dan Ugla makes a couple errors in the first start I made on Sunday Night Baseball, and unfortunately cost his release. Well, when he got released, I said, give me that 22 jersey. I'm wearing that.
All right. Well, you know what? We got to run to a break. I could talk to you all day, man. I love these
sorry,
stories.
buddy,
No. I got 20 more questions, but we're out of time. Jake Peavy, Tim Flannery, and the Lunatic Fringe. Sunday, August 30th, Hopmonk, a great location in Novato. Jake, we'll have to have you on again. Thanks, my man.
Sorry, I was long-winded, Rick.
No, it's all good. It's good stuff. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Byline.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. American Premium Vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
I'm not insightful enough to be a movie critic. Maybe I could be a food critic. These muffins taste bad. Or an art critic. That painting is bad.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
Welcome back to Sports Byline USA, coast to coast, border to border, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Rick Tittle with you, and it is our pleasure to be joined by young actor Luke David Blumm. He is in a brand new picture that is debuting tomorrow in theaters entitled The Optimist, along with Stephen Lang and Elsie Fisher. And this is something that has already received a lot of press. Luke, welcome to the show. And I think it's interesting that you're young, but you're kind of a grizzled vet in the acting game, aren't you?
Yeah, if you want to say that, sure. Doesn't feel that way, but I guess it is true now. I've been acting for 7 years, which is almost half of my life. That's crazy.
And of course,
yeah, I've been acting for.
Sorry,
yeah, I've been acting. I've been acting. I've been auditioning since I was 8.
And I guess you need a good support staff, parents, guardians, whatever it is, so you don't go off the rails like some child actors do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. My dad and mom are both wonderful. They're amazing about my acting. My dad's been acting since he was a teenager, so he really got me into it initially. And I've wanted to be an actor since I was like 5 years old. So it's really like a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong dream.
Well, it's pretty amazing, the success you've had so far, and it'll keep going with this movie, The Optimist. Let's talk about it, because it's a troubled teen, we know who plays that, and a Holocaust survivor, and it's set up here in NorCal, right?
Yeah, well, that was this half of the movie. I was in the I was filming in Prague for the part of the movie that was in the past.
Wow.
So the half of the movie is in the past with me as the young Herbert Heller living through the Holocaust, and then in the future you have Stephen Lang and Elsie Fisher as the older Herbert Heller, and both of those parts are amazing, and I think that they're both really important for especially understanding who Herbert was as an actual person, because like the movie says in the title, he was an optimist, and he took the pain from his childhood and surviving through the Holocaust, and he took that pain, but he was able to help other people with it, and you can see the effect that you can see both sides of that coin, and you can see the effect that he has on people's lives. And I think it's wonderful, and I think it's a wonderful way to portray Herbert's character, and I think it's a wonderful film.
I can think of worse places than Prague. How great was that?
That was incredible. Yeah, I was up there for like 6 weeks. It was me and my dad for 4 of them, and then the rest of my family came up for 2 weeks. It was very, very fun, and the director was also just like incredible. He knew Finn Taylor. He was also vegan. I'm vegan, and he was as well. That was a surprise. That was really fun. We got to order food from the city. So basically, we were just everybody else got to eat normal food, and we were all fancy with our vegan stuff, and that was very fun.
So the power of playing, based on a true story, and here you are, a little kid on cobblestone streets in short pants, wearing the yellow star, and then to be put in those concentration camp stripes and getting on a train, and this is all Hollywood. So it's got to be frightening even when you're an actor. It must make you appreciate just the inkling of what a horror it actually was, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the thing that I think has impacted me the most through filming this movie was that, I didn't really know anything about the Holocaust before I started researching for this role. It's just something that's not very well taught. I mean, the entirety of what I knew about the Holocaust was a bunch of Jewish people got killed by Hitler during World War II. And that is such a terrible, lacking understanding of the real tragedies that occurred and, the millions and millions of lives that were taken and ruined. And I think it's a tragedy that children aren't taught these things, and that I kind of had to find it out by myself. And I only was able to do that because of this movie. So it's kind of what I'm hoping this movie will fill. It'll fill the hole of, kids not knowing anything about the Holocaust. That's one of my biggest hopes for this.
Yeah, that's very concerning to hear that, because when I was going to school in the 70s, it was on TV constantly. And now this is probably why we have the rise of these Holocaust deniers, these morons who would think such a thing. So for you, what is some of the feedback you have? Because we do still have Holocaust survivors in this country, and when they see you in that outfit, and I know the movie comes out tomorrow, but have you had feedback from people who say, the whole thing brought a tear to my eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been showing at festivals, at like Jewish film festivals and just other film festivals for a while now, and I've gone to probably I'd say 6 or 7 of them, and all of them, or nearly all of them, have had Holocaust survivors there, and after each showing, I do Q&A. They ask me questions about it, and then they talk to me afterward, and really seeing the impact that it's had on them, because it really does affect people massively when they can see that, and then they can see, they just say you really made a huge impact on me with this movie, and it's wonderful to hear that. It kind of makes the whole movie worth it, to know that it can really affect someone like that. And more than anything else, being able to speak to the family of Herbert Heller, that is an experience that I'll never take for granted. Being able to affect people that deeply and that personally is something that, it's a privilege to be able to have much of an impact on people.
Last question for you. Sometimes Hollywood will just have you use your regular voice, and so we'll have Nazis with English accents. Sometimes it has to be the real voice of the time, or sometimes they will make you have a German accent. I mean, how did you play HH in this?
Yeah, so I had a speech coach that was supposed to help me with the German lines. I say a couple of German lines throughout, and she was there to help me with that, but then she also helps me with the accents. I am god-awful at accents, and I really needed her help. I really appreciate that, because it made a big difference. I remember there was one scene that we were filming where as soon as I started talking, they were like, cut it, and I was like, whoa, what happened? And they're like, you didn't use the accent at all. And I was like, oh. But so it's a lot of work to keep on that accent. But it was fun. I like doing accents as sad as I am at them, truthfully. But it wasn't bad at all. I had a fun time with it. I'm very glad that they went for that instead of just having no accents at all. That's lazy. We put too much care into this movie to do that. Everyone did. This is a huge project for everybody that worked on it, and it means a great deal to a great many people. So, I'm very glad it's coming out. It's going to be amazing.
Well, it's coming out tomorrow in theaters. The Optimist, very emotional, powerful, independent drama inspired by the Holocaust survivor Herbert Heller's life. And we have been speaking with Luke David Blumm. He's already been in big pictures. I hope you can do a goofy comedy. You're doing all this heavy stuff. Luke, congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, I am Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. We will come on back on Sports Byline USA.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help. At the Home Buyers Hotline, we can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, hour 3 coming up. Lots of open lines there, and we'll close out this one. Dominic Jimenez on the other side of the glass. What does that mean? We're doing a radio show. Sports trivia question for you?
I'm ready.
Now, you and I aren't the biggest college basketball guys. Let's just face it. We have an inkling. I'm asking you, I always try to ask questions that I either don't know or I didn't get all of them right. John Calipari recently just got his 900th win, and he's now 5th most in D1 history. Bob Knight moves to 6th. So there are 4 guys that have more wins than Coach Cal, and I got 3 of them, and then when I heard the 4th one, I was like, I should have had it. Do you know the 4?
So the good news is I can get on the board here. John Wooden.
No.
Did he not coach long enough?
He did not get over 900 wins.
Wow. Okay. I think number 1 is Coach K.
Thank you. Coach K is number 1 friend of the network.
Is this men only?
This is men only. It's not Gino Auriemma is not in there.
Okay.
Or Pat
Roy
Summitt.
Williams?
Roy Williams, very good. He's 4th.
Kelvin Sampson?
No, not a bad guess. One guy of the 2 left was on this show.
I got the 2, and that's it.
Okay. Jim Boeheim, Syracuse, and then the one that I didn't get, and then I was like, I should have had it, is Rick Pitino.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. So, anyway, those are, as I said, we're not big college basketball guys.
I've got a college basketball thing for you if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, Omaha's Christian Richardson just finished the season with 31 turnovers. That's not that bad out of context. How many assists do you think he had, Rick?
31 turnovers. I'll say he had 420 assists.
0. 9th player in NCAA history to have 30 or more turnovers with 0 assists in a season.
Wow. Are you sure his last name isn't Green?
I promise.
All right. Well done. Yeah, that was one of those little trick questions there. So anyway, I was just looking at what the Raiders were able to do yesterday because we need some hope around here, around these parts. And you think about, well, we have money. How can we spend it? I'll never forget after the last game of Dennis Allen's one and only season, the Raiders were bragging about how they had, $100 million. We have the most money. And I said, and it was kind of a B-word thing to do, but I meant it. And it was a fair question. And he didn't get mad. But he said, we got more money than anybody. And I said, do you think anybody is going to want to sign in Oakland? And he actually looked down and he thought about it for a while. And he looked up and he went, yes. Well, sometimes you have to overpay, and I'm okay with it. So the Raiders, $81 million, Tyler Linderbaum, $40.5 million to Quay Walker, $36 million to Nakobe Dean, $35 million to Jalen Naylor, $48 million to Kwity Paye, $30 million to keep Eric Stokes, and 1 year, $11 million to keep Malcolm Kuntz. And then they traded for Taron Johnson. So some wholesale changes, and every single person I just mentioned is a defensive player outside of the wideout and the center. And they need help everywhere. Outside of tight end, they need help everywhere. They got a great tight end and a pretty good backup. All right, come on back on Byline.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. Just when I thought I could have a break from college football, like The Godfather said, they pulled me back in. The state of the industry is such a mess that unlike other powerful billion-dollar businesses, college football has begged the United States government to interfere with them in an attempt to save themselves from themselves. Last Friday, in a made-for-the-cameras moment, the President of the United States declared that within a week, he's going to unleash an executive order that will magically fix all of the problems plaguing the industry. And after stating that the court system is one of the reasons that college sports are in chaos, he made sure to note that the executive order he comes up with would immediately be dragged into court and challenged. I'd say it's not ideal that taking the commander-in-chief's time away from the country fighting an expanding war in the Middle East is the best idea, but one thing I've discovered about our country over the past 10 years is that Americans are really good self-driving vehicles, so the more dumb distractions for the people in charge may actually be for the better. A group of highly educated, powerful men that don't have enough self-control to govern themselves due to their unbelievable greed made their way into the East Room, where they pleaded their cases as to why the United States government needs to step in and help run their business for them. All the while, there was no representation for the players who will be directly affected by whatever decision gets shaken out of the Magic 8 Ball. And the worst part about it all, I don't even have a finish for this thing. That's the worst part. I'm just generally annoyed by all of it. Mostly the heads of these conferences, the NCAA itself, and the television industry that drove much of this. And I have an outlet to complain about it. Maybe you feel the same? If not, don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-Minute Warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that. Hour 3 underway. The United States and the WBC beat Mexico yesterday. I was watching a lot of that game. Roman Anthony, of all people, coming up big. You know, I looked up Bryce Terang. He was a high school freshman of the year. I didn't even know they had such a thing when he was in Southern California, and then was a first-round pick of the Brew Crew. But anyway, Roman Anthony with the home run, Aaron Judge with the home run, Skeens, good start, and held on for a 5-3 win over Mexico. And Puerto Rico beat Cuba 4-1. They're in the quarterfinals, so now it's between Cuba and Canada for the other spot in Pool A. Pool C is South Korea. They beat Australia 72. They advance via tiebreaker. They needed 5 runs. They needed to win by 5 runs, and they won by 5 runs. And if they would have won by 4 or less, they wouldn't. It would have been Australia. So big dog piles there. And the Dominican Republic and Venezuela stayed perfect, and they're going to play for the top spot in Pool D. The winner will get Korea, and the loser gets Japan. So Panama went 1-3, Colombia went 1-3, Brazil 0-4, Great Britain 1-3. You know, it's weird. I love Great Britain, but when they're trying to play baseball, I get mad. Quit trying to play baseball. I thought you liked them, Rick. I thought I did too. Czech Republic went 0-3, and Nicaragua went 0-4. Netherlands 1-2. That's mostly the Dutch ABCs, although they had some talent. And Israel is out as well, as they went 1-2. But it's hotting up, as they say in England. 1-800-878-PLAY. I'm also on Twitch.tv and YouTube, streaming along as well. If you want to email me, it's rick@sportsbyline.com. J.D. Sharp scheduled to appear in the next segment. Otherwise, your calls, get on in.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-247-6135. 800-247-6135. That's 800-247-6135.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frosty, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like two delicious desserts just high-five. Snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down a never-ending road of mint chocolate frosty perfection. So, swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network, streaming on YouTube, twitch.tv, however you can get us, CRN Digital, through your cable systems. It is 11:12, as I mentioned, Pacific time. Time to check in with our friend J.D. Sharp. Email him sharp@betmypicks.com and follow him. He is the guy from Pro Wagering. J.D., yesterday we were talking about Tyler Linderbaum, and you know, the most a center has ever made in the NFL was $18 million a year. The Raiders upped that by 50%. He'll make $27 million. So if you wonder why he wanted to go to Vegas, that's a pretty good reason right there. But I know he was a Hawkeye, so I just took a look where he's from. He's from a town called Solon, Iowa, which has 3,000 people. And I didn't realize, because I come from, you know, California, one of the biggest states with 58 counties. I didn't realize that Iowa has 99 counties, basically every like 20 square miles. Have you ever heard of Solon, Iowa?
Yeah, Solon. It's actually a football powerhouse. James Morris was from Solon as well. He was a Hawkeye. He was a middle linebacker. Didn't do much in the pros, but he was very highly touted. Coming out of high school, was a good wrestler as well. They've got the Solon. They've got it's a hay baling competition. Every single year. They throw X amount of hay bales, and whoever does the most gets the award. So like it's a big beef area as well. It's obviously a very big farm town. They've got a lot of beef. I think Linderbaum actually comes from a pretty prominent farm family as well. So he wasn't doing poorly in the first place, but obviously getting an additional $27 million a year is not going to hurt you at all. So
I also saw that a guy the Raiders drafted last year ahead of Quinn Ewers, Cam Miller, North Dakota State Bison, no longer with the Raiders, but he's a Solon guy.
Yeah. Again, football powerhouse. Not surprised at all. Morris, Linderbaum, Cam Miller. By the way, the Raiders have had an incredible first. They had a great first day, in my opinion. Quay Walker, Jeremy Chin, Tyler Linderbaum. Did they get that Elijah Vera Tucker? No, they didn't. Somebody else got him. But and they've really picked up. Oh, Nakobe Dean, the linebacker from the Eagles. He's a heck of a player. He was a national championship winner.
I got
Georgia.
Kwity Paye.
Yeah, Kwity Paye. He's only 27, 28 years old. They've added a lot of really talented young guys. Eric Stokes as well, that corner, another Georgia kid.
Do you like the Naylor kid
I like Naylor a lot. Yeah, he hasn't really gotten his chance in Minnesota. He was decent at Michigan State. He's got good hands. He runs solid routes. I don't think he's a bad pickup at all. I think in the price, maybe they paid a little bit, but they still got $98 million in cap room left. So I'm telling you, Rick, the Raiders, this is their chance. They should not draft Mendoza. They should trade. They should trade the pick. They're doing well in free agency. They're going to keep doing well. They should add more talent to this team, and they should pick up a guy like a Carson Beck. That's what they should do. That should be their move, and they can easily do that if they want to. Again, trade the pick up Jordan Tyson, pick up another defensive player that you really like, and pick up Beck at quarterback. And I think you've got a real chance to actually make the playoffs this year with the amount of talent that they're adding to this team and the amount of talent they already have. Brock Bowers, Jonte, Colton Miller. These are very talented guys. So, I think the Raiders have a real opportunity here, and I hope they don't squander it. I'm not a big fan of Mendoza. I mean, they're going to have some weapons around him. I just don't think he's the guy at the next level.
By the way, yesterday when you said get Carson Beck, I thought you said get Carson Wentz, and I thought you lost your mind. And then I was like, oh, no, he said...
No. Carson Beck. Carson Beck. So, again, he's done nothing but win. He won at Georgia. Mm-hmm. He took Miami to a national championship. He's got size. He's got swagger. He dates Instagram models. He matches Vegas. He's very Vegas. That should be your guy. They'll pay him. He'll be there forever. He's nuts. He'll gamble every night. He'll do whatever he's got to do. That's just who he is. So, I don't think, and I don't love that. Are Tom Brady and Fernando Mendoza gonna get along really well? I don't really see it. So again, you've got the first pick. Trade it. Add some major talent to your team with this extremely deep, impressive draft, and I think you've got a real chance, Raiders, to become a legitimate franchise to be feared in the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be the way to go. Well, time will tell, but they're going to draft Mendoza. We all know it.
I know they are. I'm telling you.
Okay. By the way, I love this. Quay Walker, I saw his full name because I looked him up on Pro Reference. Jaquavian Jaquez Walker. Now, that's a cool name.
That's a wild name. That's like 30 characters. That's a lot. That's hard. Jaquavian. Yeah, that's a serious name right there.
All right. Now, the Rams really needed corners. Basically nothing else. Talk about getting it done. They trade for Trent McDuffie. They give him a huge extension, and then they get Jalen Watson for 3 years. They went out and got 2 corners. I admire it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you gotta wherever your need is, you gotta take advantage of it. And obviously, the Rams have done that, and what have they really lost? I think they're bringing back pretty much most of their team, if not all of their team. You still got you still got
Nakua.
Nakua. Yeah. You still have Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think they have. Didn't they get a tight end too? Didn't they get a really good tight end?
Was that Lively? No, what was the guy's name?
No, they're looking at drafting. They're projected to draft Sadiq.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
All right.
They're projected to draft Sadiq. They didn't get a tight end, but no, they think that they should draft Sadiq, and they're probably right. The Sadiq kid's a heck of an athlete. But I mean that's what good teams do. It's very simple. If you have a weakness, you turn it into a strength, and you pursue it as to the best of your abilities in the offseason.
All right, I want to stay in the NFC.
No.
Hello.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I want to just one more question for you. Staying in the NFC West, you were talking yesterday about how Alec Pierce, getting $114 million, but wouldn't he have been better on the Niners? Well, the Niners got Mike Evans, and you might say, well, he was a little bit banged up. He never was before. His first 10 years, of course, first guy to go 10 years, 1,000 yards every season. But they're in win-now mode. Like Mike Evans would make no sense to the Raiders. But for the Niners, this is pretty cool to have a target like this, a guy who will maybe not be as fast as he was, but a guy who will get open and make catches, especially inside the 20. I think this is a pretty strong move by San Francisco.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you got Evans, Jennings, you still have Pearsall, you still have George Kittle, you still have McCaffrey, you've got a lot of weapons on that team that you could use. I think they're missing.
Well, Kittle might be out for the season. We'll see how long.
Well, that's not.
Yeah, and
not
Juwan
good,
Jennings is a free agent. So, but anyway.
Yeah, I think they're missing a speed guy, but They'll figure that out. They'll get that figured out. But yeah, it's a great pickup for them. I totally agree.
Sharp at betmypicks.com. JD Sharp of Pro Wagering. Always appreciate you coming in, giving your thoughts. We always like it.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Rick.
All right. Cool stuff. As I slam the table because we have open lines the rest of the way, 1-800-878-7529.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
If you're serious about investing in gold or silver, Allegiance Gold will give you an additional $5,000 in free gold to add to your portfolio. They can help you buy any amount of gold or silver, even roll over your current IRA into gold. They've helped thousands invest millions in gold over the years, with prices that are some of the best in the industry, with fees that are fair, reasonable, and transparent. Protect your wealth with gold. Save on your gold or silver pricing when you buy from the top-rated Allegiance Gold. Invest in gold or silver today by calling Allegiance for your free gold guide. And learn about the $5,000 free gold offer with qualified purchase. Call now.
800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. That's 800-413-1937.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our better blue pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our better blue pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the better blue pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
By noon, I need them 8,000 hens moved into their new cages. Now, sometimes they don't want to cooperate, but you give them a good shaking, they'll settle down for you.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Do they have what?
Large talons.
I don't understand a word you just said.
Cares about anything else when you've got Rick Tittle on the radio?
Girl, 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529. Get in and get heard. What you got? I just saw this picture that people were putting around from the Fans Fest, and I'm looking straight at the ground. Was I bowing my head in prayer? I don't know. All right. MLS, you know, the Earthquakes are off to a great start. They've won the first 3. They haven't even given up a goal yet. And the other day, I saw that they were playing, and I was like, too bad I can't watch. And I thought, oh, wait, I can. Because Apple TV, they don't have to pay an extra. I remember somebody said, yeah, I'm thinking about getting Apple TV so I can watch MLS. I'm like, well, I have Apple TV, and I don't get it. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, you're not saying it's an extra fee, are you? And I said, hell yeah, it's an extra fee. He goes, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding you. But stupid Pac-12, their deal. We're going to be on Apple TV. What? Is that bad? Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's not good. Unless you don't have to pay extra. But you don't need bad headlines coming from MLS. But this is going to hit every sport. And it already has hit the NBA, even college baseball. And that is MLS has announced lifetime bans for midfielders Derek Jones and Yeboah stemming from violations of the league's gambling policy. This is just to sort of, I won't read the whole thing, but suffice to say, this came down last night, the press release. Major League Soccer has issued lifetime suspensions for Derek Jones and Yeboah, neither of whom is currently under contract with an MLS club for violating the MLS gambling policy. Apparently, they got suspicious alerts through Integrity Partners. And so MLS retained the law firm Patterson, Belknap, Webb, and Tyler, LLP. They did the investigation and said that after the investigation, they both engaged extensive gambling on soccer on their own teams last season and the year before last. In one instance, both players bet on Jones to get a yellow card October 19th, 2024, which he did. That's pretty good, man. That's the easiest thing you can ever get. Now, you don't want it to be red. All you got to do is really stand in front of a ball on a free kick, and the referee will say, go away, go away, go away. I'll book you. All right, yellow card. Boop, there it is. Or just push somebody over, grab the jersey, make sure it's not a breakaway goal-scoring opportunity, or else you get red. But a yellow card's, you could tell the ref to F off. He'll give you a yellow card. So, they apparently, that was their scheme, was to get yellow cards. And the commissioner, Don Garber, said, quote, Major League Soccer remains steadfast in its commitment to match integrity. Now, when I see Yeboah, I think about Tony Yeboah, who played for Ghana, who had one of the great goals you'll ever see scored for Leeds, just an absolute cannonball from like 45 yards out. Yeboah right now plays for, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but Qingdao Hainyu FC in China. Jones is out of soccer. But Yeboah is beloved by Columbus fans for scoring the go-ahead goal in the MLS Cup final 3 years ago over L.A. It was this beautiful through ball. But Garber continues, the league will continue to enforce its policies, enhance education efforts, and advocate for the elimination of yellow card wagering in all states to protect the integrity of our competition for clubs, players, and fans. And look, it's like props, you know, less than 5 rebounds. How easy is that? Just get rid of yellow cards. Could they do red card? But no more yellow card betting. And that is pretty cool. Now, the law firm said there was nothing that said that they gave up goals or, as is like point shaving. years ago, I had this VHS tape. I'll tell you how long it was in the 90s. And it was a short documentary. It was about a half hour long from England, but it was showing all the guys who were guilty of throwing soccer matches. And my favorite clip was from Paderborn, which hurt because Paderborn is my home in Germany, which I've been to every time I've ever been to Germany, double-digit times. I always go to Paderborn. It's in Nordrhein-Westfalen, or as we would call it, Westphalia. It's actually where Charlemagne was first knighted. Sorry, not knighted, crowned. And it's a wonderful place. It really is. But Paderborn FC has had a couple times in the Bundesliga. They're usually Bundesliga B. But there was a guy, he had bet on his own team. He was a striker. And it was late in the game, and it was tied. And he came in for a corner, which is not sometimes on a corner they'll leave a striker at the halfway line in case there's a breakaway. But usually strikers will mark up in the box. But the ball came in and just perfect header right into his own goal. And then he went, oh. And they say, you hear the jungle drums and the red mist descends over your face, and you're a striker, and you're like, oh, get a goal. And it's like, oops, wrong goal. But it was one of the most blatant things, and his teammates are like, what are you doing? Sorry about that. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY. There's another thing I want to get to real quick before we go to the break. How's this for a sign of the times in men's college basketball? There was senior night last week. How many Power 5 scholarship seniors celebrated senior night across the United States? 22. 22 guys, which is insane. 22. The Big Ten had the most, 10, Big 12, 5, ACC 3, Big East 3, SEC 1. Now, on the migration side, those Power 5 seniors, 4 played at 4 different schools. 2 seniors played at 5 schools in 5 years, and then 2 other guys played 6 schools in 6 years. Now, that's pretty tremendous. All right, also breaking news, Geno Smith has been traded back to the Jets. The Jets want Geno Smith back. This is breaking news from Charlie in New York City. Before the trade was agreed to, though, Geno Smith agreed to restructure his contract, and the Raiders will still pay the bulk of it. But they're getting the Raiders are sending Geno Smith and a 7th-round pick for a Jets 6th-round pick. Remember, this is where he started his career. So the Jets get 228 and Geno Smith. The Raiders get 208. They move up. Well, yeah, they move up basically 20 spots to get rid of Geno Smith. So it's funny because they say now the Jets have their starter and they're going to turn their attention to backup, and the aforementioned Carson Wentz is in there. You got to remember that Geno Smith is 35 years old. The Raiders sent a 3rd rounder to Seattle for this guy, and then they signed him to 2 years, $75 million. 2 years, $75 million extension. So I don't know what they're going to pay him to not play for the Raiders, who went 3-14, and Smith led the NFL in interceptions. Now, Smith also was sacked an obscene 55 times, and the Raiders were the worst team in football running. It just showed, even with Aston Junty back there, the star out of BSU, they still had no idea what they were doing because the line was so putrid. And this is why they have the number 1 overall pick. Smith had a very eventful time in New York. He dropped out of the first round. Remember, he fired his agent, and then he left the green room, and then he came back when he was drafted. He was the starter there for 2 years, and he threw 34 interceptions in those 2 years, and he got benched, and they went with a guy from Harvard, Ryan Fitzpatrick, remember? Then he was the backup with the Jets. He was the backup with the Giants. I remember him getting the start in Oakland. That was when Eli was benched for the first time. That cost, was that Doug Maroney, his job? He was the backup for the Chargers, and then he started playing for the Seahawks. When Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos, Smith beat out Drew Lock, and everyone was like, that's the Geno Smith the Jets thought they were drafting. The Jets want. If you're a Jets fan, how are you not depressed beyond belief that you got Geno Smith to start? I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Byline.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frosty, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like two delicious desserts just high-fived, snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down a never-ending road of mint chocolate frosty perfection. So, swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
If we're handing out insults for being fat, let's have a go at him. Look at him. Why? And he's got glasses. Let's call 4 eyes as well. Why don't we call him Fatty Fatty Toad Boy? 1, 2, 3, 4.
getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
Girl, don't act like I did when you didn't. I'm glad Geno Smith is gone. I have nothing against him personally, but that's the last thing you need. But, looking over Nando's shoulder, I know JD said that he didn't see Fernando Mendoza and Tom Brady getting along. I disagree with that because they already have been basically filming buddy cop movies together and TB12 bowing down worship, and Tom Brady gushed over him before the Raiders even had the number 1 overall pick. So, yeah, I think so. All right, so there was this story that came out of the WBC yesterday that when the USA was playing in Mexico, that Randy Arozarena of the Mexican national team went to home plate, and he leaned over to shake hands with his Mariners teammate, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh, Mr. 60 home runs. And he had his hand out, and Cal Raleigh said something to him, and he left his hand out there for a second. It's always embarrassing when you leave somebody hanging. And he probably said something like, "Not right now, man. Not right now." What? No, after the game, dude. No, not right now. It's probably something like that. And so there were different reports. I don't know which one to believe, but Arozarena did not like it. And he said in Spanish to the Mexican media that was reporting, "I met Cal Raleigh's parents at the hotel. They were very nice. We had a nice chat, but Cal Raleigh can F off." Now, on the one hand, there are can you imagine trying to shake Buster Posey's hand? He would spit on your hand. It's time to play. And I get that. I totally get that. This fraternizing that goes on. I'll never forget when the A's were playing the Tigers in the playoffs. I think that was 2 years in a row. Both times Verlander won the last game. And in Detroit, Grant Balfour, the A's closer, had a moment with Victor Martinez. And Grant Balfour would get up on the bump and swear and swear and swear. And he wasn't really swearing at you. I was kind of talking about with Peavy. He was swearing at himself. But then Martinez was like, "What you say, mother effer?" And then now Balfour's talking to you. He comes off the... This guy was made of oak. Grant Balfour, 2 years ago at Fans Fest, I was on stage with him, and I put my arm around him for a second. The guy is made out of pure oak. I mean, I would not want to scrap with that dude. But anyway, Balfour and Martinez started jawing at each other, and then the benches kind of, I don't want to say they cleared, but people ran on the field. It's always hilarious when the bullpen comes in an hour late. The cameras show. Well, it's like they know they're not going to get involved, but if they don't run in, they're going to look bad. It's dumb. It's really dumb. But so there was this bad blood, and they played the next game at the Coliseum. And before the game, I was sitting in the Tigers dugout, actually with Jim Leland, the manager. I was sitting right next to him, and I didn't even ask him for an interview, just a couple little hey, blah, blah. And I noticed that Josh Donaldson was playing with Victor Martinez's kids. And Victor Martinez had these two little cute kids, and Josh Donaldson was like, "Hey, hey, hey, ho, ho, ho," poking him in the stomach and blah, blah. And the A's were already done with BP. They go first. Visitors go second. And Josh Donaldson should have been in the clubhouse. Well, I shouldn't tell him where he should go, but everybody else is in the clubhouse. That was what the A's. And he's playing, and then at the end, he gave Martinez a bear hug like Grizzly Adams and Ben. I mean, it was just this, "Oh, love you, man. Love you, dude." And then the A's went out and lost. And I just remember thinking, if somebody says, "I'm stepping into the box," and he puts his hand out, I don't think I have the gumption to let that guy's hand linger there unless it was somebody who I despised, or I understand a similar thing happened in another game. I think it was Czech Republic and somebody, and these two guys were complete strangers. So I understand some strange guy on their team, hey, what's up? It's like, what? These guys are teammates. Now, I'm sure some people loved it. I'm 50-50 on it because I get it, but I also think it's kind of lame. And I can tell you right now, if my teammate for 162, actually more, they almost went to the World Series. They almost won their first damn pennant ever. If that guy puts his hand out, there's no way I let that hand stay out there. Unless I think you are a piece of crap. Like, you know, if Jeffrey Epstein put his hand out, I would be like, I'm good. Well, he's dead. Bad example. But anyway, somebody like that. Hey, put her there, pal. How are you? I'd be like, fine, and look straight ahead. So, you know, but unfortunately, there are people like, build a wall. That's what I'm talking about. And it's like, no, it has nothing to do with Mexico, USA. It just has to do with, I'm here to kick your butt, and we will be friends after. You know? Like I said, there are certain guys, like there's no way Buster Posey would have shaken anybody's hand ever. There's no way Bumgarner wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? It's just that attitude that guys have. Peavy, who was on the show earlier today. And you heard him. Great interview. Great guy. But between the lines, no.
Kobe did the same thing to Pau Gasol back in the Olympics. He like smacked him. They were teammates on the Lakers. Pau Gasol is some of Kobe's daughter's godfather, for crying out loud.
Wow. That is good. But yeah, so this whole thing about, you know, when Yugoslavia was breaking up, and Drazen Petrovic and Divac were best friends, and there was a 30 for 30 on that, and now one's a Serb and one's a Croat, and this guy showed his flag, and he got death threats, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's just guys, they're jocks, they're competing, and it's like, I'm not shaking your hand. But unfortunately, like I said, the politics gets into it when it shouldn't. It has nothing to do with Mexico and the United States. 1-800-878-PLAY. Just a couple of the golf world, believe it or not. And I did golf last week in Davis. I've got a couple of hacks for you. That's a stupid term. But here are a couple of hacks. So Noah's Bagel, where I live on Solano Avenue in Berkeley, the Noah's there, that closes at 2 p.m., which is lame, but I get it. They're breakfast lunch. If you go in at 1:55, they'll give you tons of free bagels. And anybody who ordered a bagel sandwich and didn't pick it up, chips and all that, you can have that too, because they're just going to throw it all away. That's not why I went in, but that happened the other day. Get on in and get that hack. Now I already forgot what the other hack was. My brain. Oh, golf, yeah. So I was golfing in Davis at Wild Horse. And I had a coupon for 9 free holes because one time, and I only, once I get to 10, I leave. I can't take it anymore. It's fun, but 18 holes is way too. These guys who golf 36 love golf. Once I get to 14, I've lost my mind. It's already 3.5 hours, and ugh. But anyway, I got 9 in, and they turned on all the sprinklers, like Caddyshack. And I went back to the clubhouse. I go, "What's going on?" And they're like, "All right, we'll give you a coupon for 9." So I was meeting some people. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get up there till 4, so I'll be able to get the 9 in before it gets dark. And they go, yeah, you know what? Just keep it, and we'll leave the carts out for you, or we're going home. What? Just go for free. So if the sun was in our eyes, we would just drive to the next hole. So go to Wild Horse just before they're closed. They all want to leave at 3:30, believe it or not. And then it's open until 5. You park the cart yourself and leave the keys in it and just walk away. That's kind of a good commercial for Davis. Anyway, Scotty Scheffler joked that Bubba Watson will have to be seated at a separate table when he hosted the Masters Champion Dinner in 2023. And remember Scotty's sliders and all those weird things on the menu? Well, this year, Rory McIlroy will be hosting the iconic dinner, and there will no doubt be some weird positioning because during the 2023 dinner, Scheffler was hosting, and those who had moved to Live Golf have been invited to compete in the Masters. And John Rahm acknowledged that it could become tense. And then Scheffler had a good response to keep things calm. He said, yeah, I haven't seen many of the Live guys. I saw Bubba on vacation this year. I told them that I was just going to have a separate table for him in the corner by himself. I'm only obviously. Well, it's a little joke, but it kind of underscored the division of these two. And remember, a couple months ago, there was this special dispensation. You can come back right now, give money to charity, and you're going to be a poopy head, and we're going to strip your gold oak leaves off your epaulets and make you a buck private, but you can come back. So, anyway, Scheffler said, I think for a few weeks a year, we can put all that aside, especially with the National being such a special place and with the history of the game and whatnot. I think we can put all that stuff aside and just get together for a fun meal, all in a room together, and just kind of celebrate the game of golf and Augusta National and just hang out. As I said, McIlroy is the host. Like corned beef and cabbage. So someone asked him, what's the seating arrangement? He said, there's a little protocol. Guys have, I would say, sections where they sit, but you move around a little bit. There are no necessarily assigned seats, but I'm definitely not going to sit in the area where Tiger and Jack sit. Those are just kind of spots where you feel those two have. And, okay. So I do think that's cool that you get to pick the food. But as I said, is it just going to be all food from Ireland? Oh, it's all. All right, let's take a break. Come on back on Sports Pilot.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case, and they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. That's 800-401-5163.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, and depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now to get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Resistors to mind reprogramming will be exterminated for the good of the state.
What kind of government you guys got here? This is worse than California.
This is the only sports talk show that features a Rhodes Scholar, but he ain't here today. Now to Rick Tittle.
All right, thanks for that. A couple minutes left in the show. I saw something, even though the Raiders are having a great season, for what that matters, Geno Smith's back on the Jets. The Niners last night got 3 fourth-round picks for compensation. Huh? 3 fourth-round picks is nothing. So that means the Niners are back to 7 picks after all. All among the top 140, none coming after the 4th round. So if you're a Niner fan, forget day 3. They got 27 overall, 1 second, 1 third, and now they have 4 fourths because it's just from losing free agents. And, you know, the compensatory formula is supposed to award teams for losing these guys. And Darius Ward and Paulo Hufanga, Huff Daddy, Greenlaw, Aaron Banks, Jalen Moore cash in. And anyway, I don't think you should get any. I don't think you should get any compensatory picks. If you do, they should all be garbage 7th rounders. All right, I'm going to take my garbage 7th